the renewable energy revolution. The world is changing, and, in many ways, it's happening faster than we can fully grasp. Our energy system, once dominated by coal, oil, and gas, is undergoing a seismic transformation, a revolution driven not just by necessity, but by an urgency that transcends political, geographical, and economic divides. We are witnessing the dawn of the renewable energy age, a critical shift in human history that promises to reshape our relationship with the planet and redefine the future of life on Earth. But what exactly is this revolution? How did it begin? Why is it happening now, and what does it mean for the future? The story of energy is the story of civilization. For centuries, humanity has been driven by its quest for more efficient ways to harness energy, first with fire, then with wind and water, and eventually with fossil fuels. Coal fueled the Industrial Revolution, oil powered the 20th century, and natural gas became the backbone of modern electricity grids. But all of these energy sources came with a heavy cost: environmental degradation, pollution, and the most daunting challenge of all, climate change. Climate change, driven by our relentless burning of fossil fuels, has accelerated beyond expectations. We now face rising sea levels, extreme weather events, and environmental collapse that threatens the very ecosystems we depend on. It's no longer a distant threat, it's here, and it's impacting communities, economies, and ecosystems across the globe. In response, we need solutions, bold, scalable, and immediate. And that's where renewable energy comes in. This isn't the first time we've thought about alternative energy sources. Wind power, for instance, has been around for centuries. Think of ancient windmills in the Netherlands. Solar energy, too, has been harnessed for decades. Yet, despite the early potential, these technologies always played second fiddle to fossil fuels, primarily because they couldn't compete on cost and efficiency. But something extraordinary has happened over the last 2 decades. Thanks to advances in technology, improvements in efficiency, and massive investments, the cost of renewable energy, especially solar and wind, has plummeted. Today, in many parts of the world, solar and wind power are the cheapest sources of new electricity generation. Let me say that again, they're the cheapest. This shift has turned renewables from a fringe option into a mainstream solution. We're no longer asking, can renewables compete? Now the question is, how fast can we scale them up? This brings us to the heart of the renewable energy revolution. Solar panels, once clunky and expensive, are now sleek and affordable, harnessing the vast power of the sun and converting it into electricity. Wind turbines, towering like sentinels in the sky, capture the kinetic energy of the wind, turning it into power for homes, businesses, and industries. These technologies have matured and are now being deployed at an unprecedented scale, transforming the way we generate electricity. What makes this revolution even more exciting is that it's not just about wind and solar. The renewable energy ecosystem is incredibly diverse. Hydropower, which has been a reliable energy source for over a century, still plays a crucial role, especially in regions with significant water resources. Geothermal energy, tapping into the Earth's internal heat, offers enormous potential, particularly in places like Iceland and the Pacific Ring of Fire. Then there's bioenergy, which uses organic materials like agricultural waste or algae to produce energy. It's a more sustainable alternative to fossil fuels because it can be produced locally and renewably. And let's not forget the exciting innovations in tidal and wave energy, harnessing the power of the ocean, an area that remains largely untapped but holds immense promise. So, we're not talking about a one-size-fits-all solution. The future of energy will be a complex mix of different technologies, all working together to provide reliable, clean power. This diversity is key because it allows countries and regions to tailor their energy solutions to their specific resources and needs. But let's be realistic. This revolution isn't without its challenges. One of the biggest hurdles is the issue of intermittency. Solar and wind power are variable. They depend on the sun shining or the wind blowing. This creates a need for energy storage solutions, and this is where batteries come in. We're seeing rapid advancements in battery technology, especially with lithium-ion batteries that can store excess energy generated during the peak periods and release it when demand is high. Major breakthroughs are happening in this space, driving down costs and improving efficiency. And as energy storage technology improves, it will play a critical role in balancing the grid, ensuring that renewable power is available 24/7. Another challenge is the grid itself. Our current electricity grids were designed for a world dominated by large, centralized power plants: coal, gas, nuclear. Now, with renewables, we need to adapt to a system that's decentralized, where power is generated in many places, sometimes far from where it's needed. Upgrading and modernizing the grid to handle this new reality is a monumental task, but it's one we can't afford to ignore. And let's not forget the politics of energy. Transitioning away from fossil fuels means disrupting powerful industries and entrenched interests. The oil and gas sectors, for example, have massive political and economic influence in many parts of the world. But despite these barriers, the momentum behind renewables is undeniable. Governments are increasingly recognizing the urgency of the situation, with many committing to ambitious renewable energy targets and phasing out coal and other fossil fuels. One of the most exciting aspects of the renewable energy revolution is the role of innovation. We're seeing incredible breakthroughs in energy efficiency, smart grid technology, and electric vehicles. Take electric cars, for example. Just a few years ago, they were seen as niche products. Today, they're on the verge of dominating the automotive market, with companies like Tesla, Rivian, and even traditional automakers like Ford and GM pouring resources into electric vehicle development. Electric vehicles are a crucial piece of the renewable energy puzzle. Not only do they reduce emissions, but they also offer a way to store and distribute energy. Imagine a future where millions of electric cars, plugged in at home or at work, are integrated into the grid, providing power during peak times and absorbing excess energy when demand is low. This kind of innovation is what will make a 100% renewable energy future possible. Beyond transportation, smart grid technology is transforming how we manage and distribute electricity. These digital grids can monitor energy production and consumption in real time, optimizing the flow of electricity and ensuring that renewable energy is used as efficiently as possible. With artificial intelligence and machine learning, we're moving toward a system that's not just greener, but smarter. The renewable energy revolution is a global phenomenon. Countries like Germany, Denmark, and Spain have been at the forefront of the movement for years, investing heavily in wind and solar power and showing the world that a transition away from fossil fuels is not only possible but economically viable. Meanwhile, emerging economies like China and India, recognizing the unsustainable nature of their coal dependency, are rapidly expanding their renewable energy capacity. China, in particular, is a fascinating case. While it remains the world's largest emitter of greenhouse gases, it's also the largest producer of solar panels and wind turbines. China is leading the charge in renewable energy investments, building solar farms and wind farms at an unprecedented scale. The shift is partly driven by the need to reduce pollution in its cities, but it's also a recognition that renewable energy is the future, and whoever leads in this sector will have a competitive advantage. India, too, is making significant strides, particularly in solar energy. The Indian government has set ambitious targets for solar power, aiming to install 100 gigawatts of solar capacity by 2022, a goal that's driving massive investment and innovation in the sector. As we look to the future, the renewable energy revolution offers hope. It represents a fundamental shift in how we think about energy, moving away from the destructive, extractive industries of the past toward a more sustainable, equitable, and resilient energy system. But make no mistake, the window for action is closing fast. The climate crisis demands that we accelerate this transition, scaling up renewable energy deployment, improving energy storage, modernizing our grids, and investing in the research and development that will drive the next generation of clean technologies. This revolution isn't just about technology or economics, it's about people. It's about creating a world where energy is clean, abundant, and affordable for everyone, where we no longer have to choose between a healthy planet and a thriving economy. The renewable energy revolution is within our grasp, and it's up to all of us to ensure that it succeeds. The future of energy is here, and it's renewable. We have the technology, the resources, and the momentum to power our world in a way that's sustainable, just, and in harmony with the natural world. Now, the question is, how quickly can we make this vision a reality? Time is of the essence, and the stakes couldn't be higher. The renewable energy revolution is not just the future, it's our only future.